ever noticed that some people hold their bowls while eating, while some people just leave the bowls on the table, and that some put their napkin on their lap, while some don't? Every country has different rules to follow. It is important to know the table manners before visiting the country. For example, we need to know how to use the tableware like forks and knives when we are in America or Europe. Besides, we can make noises when we are eating, and the spoons are for the soup. However, when we are in Japan, the Japanese use chopsticks, not spoons. When they are having soup, they hold their bowls to their mouth and make noises. Making noises means that the food is delicious. I notice Koreans don't hold their bowls while eating. I get it because the bowl is too hot to hold, since they're made of iron. The idea behind all table manner is to be polite and to make other people comfortable. And it's also interesting to learn those table manners. Thank you.
A young boy walks into town on market day. He sees a strange man. The man has a big bird and wants to sell it at the market. The bird has bright red, green, and blue feathers on its wings. 12 gold pieces, only 12 gold pieces, calls out the man. 12 gold pieces for a bird? That's crazy, the young boy says. My parrot talks, and I want 12 gold pieces for it, the man answers. Then the bird says, that's right. The young boy runs home. In 5 minutes, he comes back to the marketplace. He has his father's turkey. He says, 20 gold pieces. Everybody in the market laughs. 20 gold pieces for a turkey? Are you crazy? They all say, well, he answers, that man there wants 12 gold pieces for his bird. Yes, but that bird has a skill. It talks. They argue, I know, his bird talks, but my bird thinks. I want 20 gold pieces. Thank you. Right after Zach's wedding, his wife's mother came to live with them. She was not an easy woman to live with. She was always complaining and never seemed to stop talking. Zach knew his wife would not listen to any criticism of her mother. She is my mother, he said. I must respect her, and so must you. As the months passed, Zach became more and more unhappy. If only, he thought, there were some ways of stopping his mother-in-law from talking all the time. Then one day she was ill. She complained, of course. She was hot, she was cold, her legs ached, her head ached. She couldn't eat, she couldn't sleep. At last, Zach sent for the doctor. The doctor arrived. He examined her and then put a thermometer in her mouth. He wanted to take her temperature. Sit quietly, he said, and don't open your mouth. Zach watched with surprise, and his mother-in-law lay in bed with the thermometer in her mouth, and her mouth closed. For the first time since his wedding, he could not hear his mother-in-law's voice. He walked up to the doctor, pointed at the thermometer, and whispered in the doctor's ear, "How much do you want for that thing? Thank you." Do you usually study hard? Can you always concentrate on your studies? If you find it hard to concentrate for your study, here are some helpful tips. The first thing to do is to choose a good place to study. If it's study at home, Find a quiet corner away from the television and the bed. Do not face the window. If it's noisy at home, study in the library. Seeing other people concentrating on their studies helps you concentrate too. Whether you study at home or in the library, make sure that nothing on the desk will distract you. Before starting to studies, list on the small notebook what you are going to study. Think about how much time you have, and then decide the amount of time for each task. Take a 10 minutes break between 2 tasks. Take a good rest after break. After finishing a task, cross it out on the list. It gives you a sense of achievement. And because you want to get more done, you concentrate more. Reward yourself on the weekend if you finish all the work during a week. Yeah, but I have to say, it's easy to say all these things, but it really isn't easy to do it. You've all been students before, and I believe you know what I'm saying. Thank you.
Master，我需要请 Master。